Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to episode number 30 of FIFA 20 Career Mode. And today is the day when we play the Champions League final. It coming up in the second game of the episode on the final Saturday in May. Normally it's played in June, I feel, but not this year. Anyway, before that we have a game against Stade Brestois. Not really important for us, at least. We're guaranteed to finish second, as you'll be able to see from the table here. PSG still haven't slipped up. They're going to look like they're going to get more than 100 points, which is very impressive indeed. Marseille guaranteed third. If I have a look at the cups, we can see what's happening in the other places. In the Europa League places, I mean. So Saint-Etienne play Marseille in the final of the Coupe Nationale. And the Coupe de la Ligue was won by Lille. Alright, so if we look at what this means. So Lille, if they drop out of the fourth place, they still have the cushion of winning the Coupe de la Ligue. So they will still get Europa League. Monaco aren't quite in such a good position, as if they drop out behind Saint-Etienne, they will... Oh no, they will still get that final Europa League spot because the Coupe Nationale final is being played between Saint-Etienne and Marseille. So, yeah, So Lille, Monaco and Saint-Etienne are all guaranteed of finishing in the Europa League. The Champions League places have been decided. Down the bottom of the table, Stade Brestois, who we play today, need to pick up at least a point if they are to avoid automatic relegation. Of course, 18th plays a relegation playoff against 3rd from Ligue 2, or maybe they go through a playoff system to decide who plays 18th. I'm not sure. But anyway, Metz currently occupy that 18th position. If they win by enough, they can get out and overtake Angers. But the more likelihood is, the more likely outcome is that they win to avoid automatic relegation if Stade Brestois were to upset us today, which I hope won't happen. But, I mean, you never know. Actually, I think I will play my first team today to get them some fitness before the Champions League final. So, they are at their peak performance when we head into the match against Barcelona. Alright, here we go into the match against Stade Brestois. I'm hoping we do not get any injuries in this game. That would be the worst possible outcome. I'd rather lose than get an injury to one of our star players. But it's full strength here against Stade Brestois. Hopefully we can come away with a victory, a good warm-up heading into the final. Now we're coming forward again through Mendes. Burst through that space. Well done from Mendes, and he plays in Dembele, and the cross is on, and it's saved. Surprised that he managed to come up with that save. That was very well done. Brestois have hardly got out of their own half. Cornet fighting to keep the ball, manages to do so. Ball play through, Bakayoko, and he puts it away. 1-0. It's Timur Bakayoko who gets the goal. I think it was Aouar with the assist. Nicely done. The French pair link up. A nice little turn here, and he slots it through. Bakayoko, quite a heavy touch, it must be said, and the goalkeeper perhaps should have done a bit better, but when he got there, Bakayoko was definitely not going to miss. He finds the back of the net for his second goal in the league. And that's a great start for us, a promising start as well. We haven't been able to take too many, enough of our chances playing with the second team in the last couple of games. But I'm hoping that it's just because we're using lower quality players And with our full strength 11, we'll be able to create and take plenty of chances, or at least enough to get by against Barcelona. Because if we played like we have in the last couple of games, scraping results against lower league French teams, we're not really going to have any chance of beating Barcelona. But Depay is in at the back stick. We'll whip it towards him. On the volley, I mean, he headed it, and it was a pretty poor header. It must be said, he probably should have done better with that. That's an awful header. Aouar, Mendes, Dembele, Mendes running on, Mendes to make it 2-0. It's saved. Probably should have done better with that. Aouar decides to keep it in. There's Cornet to Dembele, who's really run into a bit of trouble. I should have done better there. And now Depay, we could break and score and make it 2-0 right at the end of the half. Chip it up. Dembele, not what I meant to do at all, but it works out alright in the end. Moussa Dembele with the goal, warming up for the Champions League final. Of course, he's been so prolific in the Champions League. We'll hope that he can continue that kind of form next week. But here I cut it back. It's headed on. I'm pretty sure I meant to just take the touch there with Mendes, I think it was. Yeah, it was Mendes. But in the end, it was headed through, found Dembele, and he could not miss from his position. And he gets his 10th goal in the league season. While that may not be great numbers for a striker, he's certainly made up for it with his 12, I think, goals in the Champions League. Could be wrong with 12, that does seem quite a lot. But anyway, he certainly has made up for it with his Champions League form. Plus, we've had goals coming from elsewhere. We've had good contributions by our midfielders and by our wingers. And that's 2-0 heading into the break. Good performance in the first half from us. Let's hope for another good performance in the second. Bakayoko, a good touch. Bakayoko, oh, well done from Timu Bakayoko. But it's a good save. Raphael foul, no. Really? Or there's a chance on the break here. Kanate's got to get out to him. It's crossed in. Oh, it's a fantastic finish. Akanji didn't jump for it, barely, and he was punished by the Brestois player, who fired a really good volley in. I don't know why he didn't jump. It was a stupid-looking effort to head the ball. But that really is a good finish from Cardona. Cutting across it, it hits the ground, bounces over the dive of Lopez. And Irvin Cardona scores to make it 2-1. But maybe we can do something here. Depay, back to Kone, to Bakayoko, to Aouar. Depay's onside. He turns, gets it into the middle. Dembele! Oh, he's missed from there. That's embarrassing. Really should have done better. He takes a good touch to get it away from the defender, but his second touch is awful. He should have scored. And this kind of finishing is not going to get us to win the Champions League. Here's Aouar. To Depay. Nicely done. Memphis Depay. It's another good save from the goalkeeper. He's had a good game to only concede 2 goals, it must be said. Depay has created a couple of good opportunities. Bakayoko's shot earlier, and he's been able to save them, but he can't save that header from Dembele. 3-1. Dembele's on a hat-trick here. I don't think he's scored a hat-trick in the league this season. He's had at least one in the Champions League, I'm pretty sure. But that's a third for us. Hopefully, hopefully we can continue and make sure we don't throw this away. It's a really good header from Dembele. Plenty of power on that from the French striker. He's 11th in the league, 2nd of the game. And that's just what we wanted to see. It's a poor touch, or we almost got in there. We've been the better team by a long way, and they're perhaps fortunate that they're not losing by a larger margin as we play in corner. No way, the offside. Oh well. I'm pretty sure that will do it. Can't remember how close we were to... Well, I didn't need to remember because the ref has remembered. And it's full time, a 3-1 victory for us. 2 goals from Dembele and 1 from Bakayoko is enough to get us the victory. PSG won 5-0 just to rub it in and get to 500. No, 100 points in this league season. Good work from them, it must be said, but to come second with 90 is perhaps a bit unfortunate. But anyway, if we're gonna beat PSG, we will need to be better and pick up less draws against the smaller clubs, and probably, considering how little PSG seem to slip up against the smaller teams, we will need to beat them twice over the course of the season, which we showed we can beat them in one of the games against them, but we couldn't beat them in the first game against them, disappointingly. So here's how the final league table ended up. PSG, 101 points, 97 goals scored, 33 wins, a goal difference of 76. They were quite dominant. Us in second, less losses than PSG, which is a testament to our good defense, as we only conceded 25 goals over the 38-game season, the second best defensive record in the league. Only behind league winners PSG. Marseille finished third, 10 points behind us, 9 points clear of Lille in fourth, who finished 1 point ahead of Monaco, who in turn finished 3 ahead of Saint Etienne. Then it was in mid-table, not much really too interesting. Nice finished down in 10th, not great from them. Montpellier, Nantes, Bordeaux, the top half as you would expect it, I would say. And down the bottom, Metz did lose their final game, so it's lucky for them that we beat Stade Brestois. Stade de Reims got relegated. They were 4 points off the playoff position, unfortunately for them, despite having a decent goal difference compared to the other teams in the relegation zone, and scoring more goals and conceding less than the both of them. They just didn't get the right results in the end, and they go down along with Stade Brestois, but not Metz, because as you can see here, they won the promotion playoff, or the promotion relegation playoff, against RC Lens, who made it all the way from the quarterfinal after beating Auxerre. Then they beat Cannes, and then they lost to Metz, unfortunately for them. But enough of that. It's now time to head into the final game of the season, the Champions League final. Can we get the win? What a magical run this has been. Will we be able to top it all off by bringing home the trophy? Let's go. Hopefully we can. Alright, here we go. Champions League final time. No one expected us to be here, but now we are. Can we make the most of it and ensure we get the victory? Here we are. What stadium is this? Oh, Ataturk Olympiat Stadium. I think that's pretty sure that's in Istanbul. Anyway, it's the Champions League final time. There's the trophy. Can we get our hands on it? We never have. While Barcelona have had it plenty of times. That's for sure. A quick look at the tree. Barcelona knocked out Galatasaray, Juventus and Liverpool to get to this point, while we knocked out Roma, Real Madrid and Manchester City. You would argue they're both relatively difficult. Starting with a quote-unquote easier side. and then two, well, I suppose you would say titans of the European scene for faced by either side. And these two are the teams that have got through to the final. Will we, Lyon, be able to come away from the game with the Champions League trophy? The Champions League theme song sounds out. The players stand ready to handshake. Here is our lineup. It's full strength. Can these lads get us over the line and give us the Champions League trophy in just my first season in charge of Olympique Lyon? What a story that would be. We've had such a great run in the Champions League. This would be a great way to top it off. But will we be able to do it? The Barcelona team looks strong. There's Umtiti, Semedo, I think it is, Busquets, De Jong, Rakitic, Suarez and Messi, of course. Here is their lineup. Stegen starts in goal, as one might expect. I didn't notice, they've signed Hakim Ziyech and Anthony Martial. I mean, Martial's not that great, but Ziyech, very dangerous off the bench. A very strong team for Barcelona. But we've beaten our fair share of strong teams to get this far. Will we be able to take one more out and get ourselves the victory? Well done by Mendes. But Dembele's taken it past Jordi Alba, and he's still going here. Dembele cuts it back. Cornet, one more. The pie! Oh, what a chance. Puts it straight to Stegen, though. And here's Suarez being pushed wide. Goes to Martial. Whips it in. It's going to fall to Suarez. Fantastic save from Lopez. That was close. It was a powerful hit from the Uruguayan as it fell to him there. And reactions from Anthony Lopez, stopping them from going 1-0 up there. Played through. Here's a chance. Suarez saved. Lopez with another good save. It's De Jong to Martial, now Alba. Good tackle from Cornet, and it will go in to half-time with the score at 0-0. It's been quite a frantic game. No one really being able to get any meaningful shots off. As you can see there, just the 3 shots in the entire game so far. Will we be able to find a more cutting edge in the second half? Let's hope so. Cornet. Nice bit of interplay here between the forwards, and it's played through for Dembele. The top scorer of the Champions League takes a shot on and finds the back of the net. Moussa Dembele. 1-0 Lyon. And the top scorer in the Champions League strikes once again. Good piece of passing from our front 3 to open up the pass for Dembele, and he finds the back of the net with a fantastic finish. It had to be inch perfect from there, and as in off the post, it certainly was. Moussa Dembele gives us the lead in the Champions League final, and we are less than, well, almost 30 minutes away from winning the Champions League for Lyon. Can we hold on? Oh, he's turned him. Konate's back in position. It finds Suarez, and he's found the back of the net. It's not Suarez, it's Messi. Oh, that's disappointing. I buggered that right up there, falling over, and then he just gets a bit of space and finishes very well. Does the Barcelona captain. And right after taking the lead, we're pegged back to level terms, unfortunately. But he manages to find the ball. It's a decent looking reverse ball. It's a powerful effort. And Luis Suarez has just missed. A good opportunity for the Uruguayan, but he slices it a bit and it goes off target. But maybe we can still do it. Out to Cornet, it's blocked, and we'll go to extra time. It's been a nervy final so far. Our one shot on target has been our one goal. Gonna make a change heading into extra time. Traore's coming on. He's shown promise in those games he played with the second team. He was skillful on the ball, but not much end product. Hopefully that can improve here when it most matters. It hasn't really there. Oh, there's a space here. Oh, Messi, about 15 step overs. It's hit the post! And the rebound is turned in by Rakitic. And that's really not what we needed. It's 2-1 Barcelona in the final. I think I got a block in on the shot which deflected it against the post and no one is there. And Rakitic, just like in 2015, cherry picking and scoring rebound goals. Depay, he's in behind. Equaliser is on right at the end of the half. Memphis Depay makes no mistake. It's 2-2 as we head into the second half of extra time. You'd think, unless something happens in stoppage time here, which I don't know, it might happen, I doubt it will, but you never know. But Depay breaking in behind, he's been probably our best player this year. If not, it would have actually, to be honest, the whole team has been great. Depay, Aouar and Dembele, I would say, have been the standouts. But Depay gets a goal here to make it 2-2 in the 105th minute, his third goal in the Champions League. And it's 2-2. Oh, I've just realised I don't want it to go to penalties. I'm awful at penalties. I need to get a goal in this second period of extra time. And hopefully they won't get one either. Just our second shot on target in the game. This is nervy. Very nervy. The second half of extra time begins now. Can we get the goal that we need to win the game? Here's Mendes. Bakayoko. There's a bit of space here. Dembele. Mendes for 3-2. He's missed. I perhaps should have taken a touch, but I thought he could have surely scored there. That's what we've seen Dembele do time and time again this year. Hold the ball up and then play it through for the on-rushing attacker, whether it be a winger or a midfielder like that. And Thiago Mendes should have put it away and given us the lead again in the final. Perhaps there's still time though. Bakayoko, we're into stoppage time. If we were to score here, what a story it would be. Dembele off the post, on the rebound, he scored! We're going to win the Champions League, lads, and it's Moussa Dembele with a brace in the final. Who is going to be the hero? In stoppage time at the end of extra time, it's a fantastic through ball. This time Dembele on the end of it himself. And despite not putting it away on the first attempt, he, like Barcelona, gets a fortunate rebound. And he, like Rakitic, makes no mistake. And now it's time to park the bus and ensure we don't concede. 13 goals for Dembele in the Champions League. He scored 4 in his last 2 games. And he has probably won us the Champions League title. He has. We've won the Champions League. What a game! 3-2 in extra time. You will not get a better Champions League final than that. Oh, I don't think. I suppose you could argue Liverpool-Milan. But that didn't have drama at the end of extra time. That just had a comeback. But what an ending, after I thought it was going to be all over when Rakitic scored during extra time. Depay right at the end of the first half of extra time, putting us back level, and then Dembele at the very end of the 120 minutes, scoring to give us the victory and win us the Champions League. Fantastic from Moussa Dembele, and Olympique Lyon are champions of Europe. Anthony Lopez raises the Champions League trophy aloft. We've done it. Not a triumph I saw coming. Not a triumph many people saw coming at all, I wouldn't think. I was surprised when we went through our group undefeated. Surprised when we beat Man City twice. Surprised when we beat Roma 4-0. And definitely surprised when we knocked out Real Madrid. It was almost all over until Cornet popped up with that late goal against Manchester City to send us through on away goals. And in the final, it was Moussa Dembele who was the hero, with two fantastic goals. Though one of them was more fantastic. Actually, I would say one fantastic goal and one heroic goal, to give us a 3-2 victory in Turkey and get us to be Champions League winners. Fantastic. Outstanding. Guess we'll watch the match recap. Why not? Such a dramatic game, and one that had more goals in extra time than in regular time. Suarez perhaps should have done a bit better with this opportunity. He had more time than he thought, I reckon. Could have given Barcelona the lead just before half time. In the end, Lopez managed to thwart him, and just before the hour mark, it was Moussa Dembele who gave us the lead. It's a fantastic finish. Just get a load of that. Keep that out to Stegen. In off the post it was. Fantastic from Moussa Dembele. But then Barcelona quickly fought back. The ball was slid into Lionel Messi, who found the back of the net with a left-footed shot to the near post, as he looked to bring Barcelona their first Champions League title since 2015. But then in the extra time, Messi took the shot on from on the edge of the box. It was blocked, or deflected I should say, into the post, and Ivan Rakitic turned in the rebound to make it 2-1. But just before half-time and extra time, it was Memphis Depay running through, who made no mistake with the finish to make it 2-2. He got away from his man, and once Depay was ahead, there was no catching him. Then at the 117th minute mark, there was a chance for Thiago Mendes, at one that he skewed off target, and I thought that might have been our best chance. It was going to penalties, it looked like then, and you know how bad I am at penalties. It looked like we were going out, but then in the 120th minute, I thought I'd messed it up when I hit the post, but thankfully it fell straight back to Dembele, who on the second attempt made no mistake to give us the win 3-2. 3 goals in extra time after just 2 in the regulation 90 minutes. I earn a trophy for winning the Champions League. Fantastic. Lyon are champions of Europe. Outstanding. Just before we round off the episode, and actually no, I'll finish the season in the next episode, go through the next season, start the next season in the next episode. But before we do round off this episode, I just get one last look at the youth squad. You saw we promoted Jehoda, he's pretty good, but a look at the rest of the lads. Charpentier is good, Peters is promising, Van den Broek as well. Looks like he could be a fantastic dribbler, like Slavic. quite similar to Slavic, I would say. A bit better at dribbling though, and probably a bit better overall. Slavic's got good volleys, I didn't notice that. Peters, good curve, I don't know, not much you could say. Charpentier, very good curve, he's a free kick taker. Really good crossing, perhaps he could be corner specialist and free kick specialist as well. Pinging balls all over the place. But we have final use scout report. This dude's been on our short list for 9 months, but I'm just going to say no. He's going to have to be upper echelon if you want to get in to the youth academy. No. Feel bad rejecting these guys at 89, but when it's down to 75, I got to remember that it's probably going to drop. He's just not had enough time scouted. He could be quite good. He's Slavic's brother. Better ask him about him. He's decently high overall. He's a right midfielder. We have Peters as a right midfielder. I'll say no. Your overall is well too low, as is yours. You're awful. Sorry, that was a bit mean. Not you. Nah. And another no. And Belgium. Mathis van der Broek, another person who's been on our report for 9 months. I've signed his brother, but his overall's too low. I won't sign him. Goossens is very decent. Very much a decent player. He could be pacey as well, but we don't know his exact stats. He could also be slow at 60 sprint speed. 80 to 86 is their point. If I'd go with Tice is no, his overall's too low. Your overall's too low. I'll decide on Goossens later. Nah. No, no, and no. Go on, we'll sign Goossens. Alright, let's take a look at him. We've been scouting him for ages and ages. Here he is, left winger, 80 to 86 potential. It's not too bad. He's quick, which is ideal. He's got good crossing as well. That's not a bad player we have there. Lars Goossens, Belgian winger partnership in Peters and Goossens, perhaps, for the future. But I guess that will do it for today's episode. I hope you did enjoy. I certainly did. That was a fantastic Champions League final. If you did enjoy, please do drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.